Welcome to my deck tech video about my commander, Afara, God of the Polis. She's been my commander ever since she came out. The professor at Tolarian Community College posted a deck tech on his Afara deck yesterday. I was one of the first comments on it, and he asked what the difference between our decks was. So this is basically my answer to that question. Instead of just giving a list of cards, I thought I would just talk about it. The professor's deck is more control-based, which is perfectly fine, but that's not the direction I went. And I'm not a token build either. I'm more blue-white value. And Afara just draws me more cards and draws me more into value. My commander is, of course, Afara, God of the Polis. I've had her altered almost the entire time I've had her. A friend did this for me, and I really appreciated it. And I think she is pretty. Anyway, on to the deck. I don't have these in CMC order. I have it in batches of just categories. The first category is artifacts. The first one is Lightning Greaves, because Lightning Greaves is just great. The rest of my artifacts all involve mana. So, Cage Sun to double my lands, usually blue. But sometimes I'll say white if I have a field full of white creatures and I just want to get damage through. Solemn Simulacrum, altered by RK Post. And the great thing about Solemn and the next card, Burnished Heart, is blue-white doesn't have a lot of land ramp, so this is the best that I can do. And they're creatures, so they draw me a card off of Afara. So Burnished Heart gets me 2 lands. Field Mist Border Post. This used to be Chromatic Lantern, but I wanted the devotion for Afara, and that's worth it. We have Sapphire Medallion combined with Pearl Medallion. Azorius Signet. Mana Crypt, a new edition that I actually haven't gotten enough time to play with yet. Sol Ring, because of Sol Ring. Okay, now we're moving into the category of tutors / deck manipulation drawing stuff. Thassa's Scries. We have Monastery Siege. Most of the time I actually play it on dragons, but sometimes I do play it on cons if I'm having a slow start and I just need more cards. Trinket Mage to find Mana Crypt, Sol Ring, or my artifact lands. Oh, and Sensei's Divining Top. Jace Vryn's Prodigy, another new addition. But so far, he's worked out amazing. Doesn't flash back too much, but he's great anyway. Top, as I was mentioning. Ponder. And Enlightened Tutor. And this fetches up whatever I need. It's usually very handy. Don't really have a combo with it, though. So, now we're getting into the category of answers for stuff that's already on the board. Wrath of God, altered by RK Post to be Majora's Moon. Cyclonic Rift. Supreme Verdict. I love Supreme Verdict. Detention Sphere is great for tokens. Revoke Existence. Revoke Existence and the Detention Sphere are my only answers to, like, enchantments and artifacts. I should probably add more stuff in for that, but it hasn't been too relevant. I have Path to Exile, and this actually is my favorite art for Path to Exile, so for anybody wondering. Swords to Plowshares. Now my counter spells, I only have 4, and one's a creature. Desertion, which, as the professor noted, is great if you counter a creature, because then you get a creature and draw a card off of Afara. So, it's just great all around. Cryptic Command is a great counterspell. You get 4 modes, not much to say about that. Glenawandra Archmage is the newer addition to the deck. I've been wanting to get one for years and just never did, but I finally got one. She draws you 2 cards and can counter 2 spells, so that's good in my book. And then we have good old Counterspell. What can I say about that? I want to put Force of Will in here. I just haven't picked one up yet. I don't know where it would go, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so now we're getting into my combo. We have Palinchron and Peregrine Drake. They basically do the same thing. And we have Deadeye Navigator and Eldrazi Displacer to blink them to create infinite mana. Now, if you're familiar with this combo, great. If not, then now you know. Now, once you have infinite mana, what do you do with infinite mana? Well, you can capsize everything your opponents have forever, including their lands. You can make infinite tokens with Heliod. Not my favorite thing to do, and I was going to take Heliod out, but then I realized I could do that, and why not have it? This is my favorite one, Dimensional Infiltrator, originally put in here for value, and I accidentally discovered I can just exile everyone's decks. It's so much fun to just do that, because there's not really anything they can do to stop it. Like, if they can't stop my infinite mana combo, then they can't stop this. And then you just pass the turn and they lose. It's nice. And we have Sphinx's Revelation. That's the ultimate mana sink. You draw every card in your deck -1. Assuming you have your commander out. -1. Because if you don't, and you draw your whole deck, and you do these combos, on the next upkeep, you have to draw a card. Which means you lose the game. And then everyone else continues the game if you capsized them, or if you Dimensional Infiltrated, then whoever's last in turn order wins. These are my only planeswalkers in the deck. Ugin the Spirit Dragon for value and answers. Like I said before, I don't have many answers to like enchantments and artifacts. This is a good answer to enchantments. Jace the Mind Sculptor has been in here since the very beginning of this deck. I love him. He's great. He can be removal. He can be a Brainstorm, a Fate Seal. I've ultimated him total of 3 times, but I usually end up just brainstorming and winning because I get to brainstorm every turn. I know he's overrated in Commander, but I just love the cards so much. This is the non-creatures first. Rite of Replication, because I wanted a clone, and I think this is one of the best clone spells in the game. For defense, we have Propaganda and Ghostly Prison. Just popping one of these down can save you so much damage in a game, because you'll have those players that just want to hit somebody for 2. Well, they're not going to spend mana just to randomly hit you for 2. They'll go hit someone else multiple times, and it's great. It also helps stop like Kiki-Jiki combos and stuff like that. Omniscience, because who doesn't want to cast everything for free? And it's 3 devotion. Aven Mind Sensor. This is a new edition, and I put it in here because it has flash, and it stops my opponent from searching for an answer. Archangel of Tides is mainly just another wall type card with 3 devotion. Karmic Guide finds my creatures back from the graveyard if I need to get one of them back. Sudden Titan can find low drop creatures, lands. Sometimes it'll find a Burnished Heart, so I can just keep land ramping, and it's a good combo with that. Angel of Serenity to go find creatures from my graveyard, get them back to my hand, and exile things. It's great. Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite is just a great card. I think you know that. And this one survived a house fire. That's a story for another time, but that's why it looks like it's in such bad condition. Akroma, Angel of Wrath. Now, I'll admit this is mainly a favoritism card. There's no real great reason why this is in here. I just like the card. So I guess you could say it's a pet card. Avacyn, Angel of Hope, to stop all my things from being destroyed. Blazing Archon, whatever. It just stops things from attacking me, period. This has won me many games. Now to the blue creatures. We have Kira, Great Grass Spinner, to stop my opponent's stuff from targeting me. We have Venser, Shaper Savant, who's a pseudo counterspell and just a bounce. Teferi, Mage's Alfea, is great for allowing us to combo off without any issues. And he's 3 devotion and can let my creatures flash in that normally don't have flash, which just combos with Afara there. He's all around great. Torrential Gear Hulk. Now, I'm going to admit the only reason he's in this deck is because I pulled him at the Kaladesh pre-release, and I just wanted to play him. And this was, like, the best deck I have for him. So that's the only reason he's actually in here, but I still think it's a good card. Flash, 5/6 body, draws me a card off of afar, and lets me play one of my counter spells again. So I think it's great. Okay. Now, Consecrated Sphinx, I've also had in the deck since the beginning. I actually have it in like every blue deck I play, except for my Atraxa deck. But Consecrated Sphinx is a great card. It can just draw you all the cards. Always play it. Arcanus the Omnipotent. This is also a pet card because sometimes it doesn't really work out. Now we have Thistledown Liege. He flashes. He has 3 devotion. He pumps my creatures. He's great. We have Brago, King Eternal to blink things. Grand Arbiter Augustine IV to make things cheaper and tax my opponents. Dragon Lord Ojutai is honestly just another pet card. He's just a value. Madomai the Ageless time walks me, and I think that's amazing and fun. Jog Skull Reaver is just another value card. And Ulamog, because I want some big finisher in this deck, and being able to exile 2 permanents usually wins me the game. Okay, now on to lands. Nephilia Academy. This was actually Springjack Pasture, but a Necrosar deck was making rounds in my league, so I swapped that out for this, and this helped me in some games. But this should honestly be Springjack Pasture again. Reliquary Tower, so that I don't have to discard, because I do end up drawing lots of cards. Moorland Haunt to make tokens and draw cards. Academy Runes to get back my artifact creatures and ramp some more. It's kind of slow, but if you got nothing else to do, it's a good thing to do. Temple of the False God for pseudo ramp. Honestly, I want to take this out for something else. Too many times it's just hurt me. Mana Confluence. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. You're trying to have devotion, so it helps. Ancient Den and Seed of the Synod. These are only in here because of Trinket Mage. If I didn't have Trinket Mage, I wouldn't have these. Halimar Depths for a little bit of early game deck manipulation, or late game. Wimbrisk Heights, just because. I don't actually usually get this to actually go off, because I don't actually have a lot of creatures early game, so when I get this off, I'm usually already winning, so honestly, this might just come out for something else. Celestial Colonnade. This is another card that I don't usually activate as a creature, so it might also be coming out. Prairie Stream, because I can fetch it, and I'm dual color, so I usually actually have 2 basics. Glacial Fortress. Temple of Alignment. Adakar Waste. Important, it taps for colorless. Command Tower. This is Skycloud Expanse. It works just like a Signet. Holiday Fountain to fetch out. And these are my fetches. They're both good. New card to the mix, and I love it. Port Town's good. Now into the basics. We should have 6 islands. Okay. We have 1 waste, so I can have the ability to fetch 1 out. So I can actually have a colorless source for my infinite mono combo goes. And we have 6 planes. And I'm using this special promo one simply because I have it. And that's my deck. I'm sorry if this took a while, but I just wanted to go through it real fast. And Prof, that's the differences between our decks. And I'm looking forward to your opinions.